It's now approximately 6 months later. Julie has been discharged from hospital and has been back at home for the last 4 months. Following her discharge, she had a depressive episode with some suicidal ideation and was briefly under the home treatment team. I'm about to see her in an outpatient setting, and I'm going to take this opportunity to review her risk assessment and in particular her risk crisis and management plan. Hi Julie, so nice to see you. How things are going?
Not too bad actually, thanks. Yeah, I think I've been feeling a lot more like my old self in the last month particularly. I've gone back to work part-time, which feels great overall. And I just really don't want to get ill again, Dr. Emma. I just don't think I could go through all of that again.
Well, first of all, I'm just so happy to see that you are doing so well. And I can totally appreciate that you are anxious to stay well. I'm sure you've had a difficult time.
Yeah.
Okay. And perhaps we can take today to look at your risk assessment and your risk crisis and management plan.
Okay.
Just to make sure that we work together to ensure that you stay well. How does that sound?
Yeah, I think that would be a really good idea, and there's a couple of comments that I'd like to make myself.
Okay, brilliant. So you've seen it?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so perhaps we can look at it together. Okay, so you've got one there as well. And really, all these are just different areas where we've identified risks. Do you have any comments to make?
Well, to be honest, I really don't see myself as somebody who does harm to others.
No, I can appreciate that must be very difficult to
It
read.
is,
Yeah. And perhaps it would be better looking at the next section, because there's a specific box that is for service users to comment, so we can add all your comments on that. Perhaps we can read what we've written and go through it like that. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. Okay, so I see since I've seen you, your care coordinator has updated this risk event history and documented the time when you were feeling very low and were actually having some suicidal ideation.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. But just with regards to the point that you brought up about you not feeling comfortable with risk of harm to others, if we look at that, okay, so the date was the 22nd of the 11th last year. The event, we've documented that you assaulted a member of the inpatient nursing team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's very difficult to see. The context was that you were admitted to hospital with a manic episode. You were doing well, but you'd gone out on unescorted leave, used cannabis, and when you came back, you were very irritable and assaulted a member of staff. The outcome of that was that the staff member was not physically injured and no charges were brought. Okay, so reading that now, I mean, I'd really like you to comment, but I guess what's important for you to know is that for us, it's important to document this so we know that when you are unwell and you do use cannabis, there is a risk of aggression and violence towards staff. So it's important for your care team to be aware of that.
Yeah, it's, I'm not normally a violent sort of person at all. And, I can see that I just wasn't myself on the ward.
Well, perhaps we can add that then to this box for service users' perspective. We can say it's totally out of character. And when you are violent, it's a sign that you're unwell or have used cannabis. How does that sound?
I mean, I think that is fair comment, Dr. Emma, but I have to say, that nurse, that incident, I know it was wrong of me to hit him, and I know I had I had some cannabis, but the thing is, he really provoked me, and you know, he was really rude, and I was just a little bit late back to the ward. He just really provoked me.
Okay, well, what do you want to, if we think about it, what would you like to add to that? Because we can add to the comment.
Well, you know, if you just say that when I am unwell, I don't deal with confrontation, and you know, and I think, you know, all of the other staff on the ward, they were all really polite, and I never had a problem with them. So
Okay, so we can add that when you're
Yeah.
unwell, you don't like staff being confrontational.
yeah, that's right.
I'm totally happy with that if you are.
Oh, great, yeah.
Okay. Any other comments that you'd like to make?
No.
Okay, so should we then move on to your risk crisis and management plan?
Okay, yeah, I mean, I've actually, I've had a think about this with my care coordinator, and I did find it really useful.
Okay, brilliant. So you've thought about it. Perhaps today we can put it down in writing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so the first box, what have you thought about with your care coordinator in terms of triggers that you can tell that you're becoming unwell?
I think I become more isolated, and you know, I stop meeting people, stop going out, stay in bed, start taking time off work, and I suppose I stop taking medication as well.
Okay, so we can write something like, and it's very important that it should be in the first person. So something like, I become more isolated, stop meeting people, going out, and all the rest that you said. How does that sound?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Great. Then the next box, what do you think has been helpful in a crisis previously?
Well, I think the main thing, really, and I said this to my care coordinator, is talking to somebody who understands. And I think the crisis team have been really useful. The other thing is to start taking my antidepressants.
Okay. Okay, so we can write that down there. Brilliant. And what have you identified that has been unhelpful in a crisis, do you think?
I suppose I have to admit, you know, the cannabis isn't always very helpful. Although I do think that the high haloperidol, that really that really makes me feel very bad, that drug. That really makes me feel worse.
Okay, well that's good to know. So we can document that certain medications like haloperidol make you feel worse when you're unwell. That's very good to know. Okay, so moving on. The next is the things I think have helped me to stay safe and well. So
definitely my care coordinator, definitely talking to her. I think taking my medication, and I think going to work part-time's been really helpful.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so we'll put that down there.
Okay.
And what things has the care team, so us, your team, what have we done to help you stay safe and well?
I think really sticking to plans, appointments, and I need to avoid cannabis, I suppose.
Okay, the next bit, what is your role in keeping safe and managing risks?
I think medication on a daily basis, as you said, keeping appointments. I mean, I know you said avoid cannabis, but I'm really going to try and just reduce it to once a week. Okay, and I just see how I go with that. And then I think, you know, work and friends, and just keep up that contact, that activity.
Absolutely, and if you need further help with the cannabis, we can absolutely refer you as well. Okay. The last box, what is my your care team's role in keeping you safe and managing risks?
Well, I think it's really useful to be available, you know, when I'm having a bit of a crisis, because that's the point when I really do need someone to talk to. I think the appointment's once a fortnight. And I also think just understanding my symptoms when I do become unwell, like we spoke about. And you know, I mean, hopefully it won't happen, but if I do miss appointments, just to contact me.
No, absolutely. Okay, well, it's been so good to see you, and I'm so glad you're doing so well. And you know that you can contact us at any time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank
Doctor.
you. Bye.